Earthlings, it is I, Christina, here at Fit and Bendy in Los Angeles, and this is our 4th shoulder health video, which means it's a little harder. So I'm assuming you already have your alignment, your technique, you know where your shoulder blades are supposed to be, because we are going to get deeper into active flexibility. If you don't have those techniques, please check out the videos linked below and meet us here soon. All you need for this video is a wall and a table, and we are going to work. All right, are you ready? Let's get going. We're going to take the exercises from our earlier videos that we did standing up and lay them down on the floor where gravity is going to make them a whole lot harder. So this exercise set is definitely going to be a little bit more advanced. If you feel like you need more prep work, check out the videos linked below. If you're ready for it, join me laying face down on the floor. Hello, gravity. Let's make some magic happen. So go ahead and just lay so that your nose is hovering just a little bit off the floor. So you don't want to be all the way face smooshed flat. But I'm also not going into back extension right now. Arms down by your sides, palms facing down. We're going to lift the arms up as we slide the shoulder blades down the back, and we're going to find those pulsing snow angels that we did in the earlier video. And when you're lying down like this, gravity presses down on your arms, obviously, and that just makes you have to use a lot more muscle. The other factor is that the floor is right there. So if you don't have enough active flexibility to get your arms off the floor in this position with good form, I would highly recommend that you go back to doing the standing versions of this workout for a little while. Like I said, linked below. If you're with me and you're feeling good, work on feeling that shoulder blade movement. So the shoulder blades pulling out nice and wide as the arms come up over the head. Feel that rotation where the base of the shoulder blade is lifting up and out in order to get the arms up just a little bit higher without any pinching or discomfort in the shoulders. So yes, you're definitely going to be feeling this workout in the shoulder itself, in those deltoid muscles, but you're also feeling it in your upper back, in your shoulder blade muscles. This is our last one. Make it count. When those arms are up over your head, see how far out you can reach your fingers, like Superman flying. Make your body really nice and long. And now we open out to the side one more time, reaching out wide. Pull those shoulder blades apart. Resist the desire to crunch them together. Bringing the arms all the way down. When they're down, shoulder blades are pulling down. I'm trying to reach for my toes. Beautiful. All right. Let's get into some internal rotation. So I'm going to just bring my right hand underneath my forehead so I can rest my forehead on my hand. And I'm going to bring my left hand, which is my less spectacular side, onto my lower back. If this feels really difficult, you can lower the hand slightly. Lifting it up higher is going to make it harder. And we are going to work on lifting that hand up off your back and sliding it back and forth, like you're sawing your hand on your lower back. Now, is this challenging? Hope so. In this position, you really want to keep this shoulder from tilting forward. So I'm trying to not lift my hand by bringing my shoulder down towards the floor. I'm trying to lift my hand using the muscles in the back of the shoulder. So there's an opening in the front of the shoulder. Oh, my arm's getting tired. So let's stop in the middle. Do some little lifts up. Trying to bring that hand a little higher, up away from the back. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Oh, that muscle just gave out there. Let's see how the right side does. Hopefully a little bit more spectacular. All right, so resting your head on your left arm, we're going to bring that right hand to the lower back, lift it up away from the back, and a little sawing back and forth. So, like me, you might notice a difference between the right and left, and that just means you get to spend a little bit more time on the side that struggles more. So it's important to know this about yourself. Definitely have an easier time with internal rotation on this right side. Let's do a couple more of these saws. Every time my hand goes across my back, I'm squeezing those armpit muscles. So there's a little bit of movement in the shoulder blade here. And now I'm holding the hand in the center, little lifts up. You can see how much my arm is shaking. So if your arm is shaking too, that's very exciting. We're working out hard together. These end range of motion exercises are very challenging when you get that extra addition of gravity. For 3, 2, and hold. Feel that shake? Oh, and muscle failure. Yes. All right, let's see if we can do that with our external rotation too. So to start, we're going to find our shoulder blade position. So both arms out to the side. I'm going to try to reach my hands out as far as I can, and we're going to do some little slides on the floor. So I'm going to bring my shoulder blades together, which is going to slide my hands in, and then I'm going to bring my shoulder blades apart, which is going to slide them out. So I'm going in and out. And as I do that, I'm really extra focusing on the out position. This is the position that I want to learn because a lot of our shoulder blades have a hard time finding it. And every time I pull my shoulder blades away from my spine, I'm trying to go just a little bit further away, trying to increase my wingspan. Let's go ahead and stop in that out position, and I'm going to bend my elbows to 90 degrees. I'm going to start with my left hand, so I'm going to leave my left elbow lying on the floor, and I'm going to try to lift my left hand off the floor. Now, the reason this exercise is more advanced is because this requires a lot of active external rotation. I'm having to go past my normal range to get here because my shoulder's already stretched just by laying on the floor. You want to make sure that you're feeling this not in your bicep or in your pec, but in the back of the shoulder, those little muscles in the back of the shoulder that we discussed where the rotator cuff attaches. Good. Let's do 3, 2, and now lift that hand up, and now we're going to lift the whole arm, and I'm trying to keep the hand above the shoulder in this position, and I'm not using that shoulder blade pulled in to lift the arm. I'm keeping the shoulder blade pulled out, and that's going to push the work primarily into the shoulder itself, which is right where I want it. For 3, 2, 1, hold, and lower down. Spicy. Let's do the other side. I'm trying to lift my right hand up off the floor. So again, those muscles in the back of the shoulder are doing the work here. And this does require a fair amount of flexibility in your pec and the front of your shoulder just to get into this position. See if you can gradually increase your range of motion as you go. So we're really trying to find the end range. I'm trying to lift and challenge that end range of motion. This is how we gradually increase the amount that we can move with strength and control. All right, I'm going to lift my hand, hold it up there, and now the whole arm lifts. Trying to keep the hand above the elbow, using that shoulder socket. Pay attention to your shoulder blade. Is it still reaching out far enough? Think about that elbow. I'm trying to reach my elbow out towards the skeleton over there. Pulling the shoulder long out of the socket. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and hold. Shaky, shaky, shaky. And down. And just for funsies, let's do both arms at the same time. So both arms lifting, hands above the shoulders, trying to get that opening through the chest. I'm trying to create a pec stretch using my back muscles. For 3, 2, 1, hold here. And now I'm going to extend both arms up over my head again. Turn my palms to face the ceiling, so I'm externally rotating the arms. Little lifts up. I'm reaching my fingertips as far out over my head as I can. I'm actually pointing my toes to make my body as long as I possibly can. Nose hovering just off the floor. For 3, 2, 1, and just to finish it off, I'm going to lift into a small back extension. One more set of arm lifts with a very small back extension to bring my entire upper back into it. And again, little lifts up, reaching long for 3, 2, 1, and relax. That's a spicy one. Very nice work, everybody. Come on up to sitting. And I'm just going to show you a very challenging little external rotation exercise to play around with. If you have a strap, feel free to grab it for this one, but it is not required. So start in your basic external rotation position. We've got the elbows tucked in and the arms out in front of you, and think about imagining that the elbows are pulling in and the hands are pushing out. Now, look at your forearms. They should be parallel to each other, 2 train tracks. We're going to try to keep those 2 train tracks completely parallel as we bring the arms up. I always like to imagine that it's like you're reading a newspaper and you're bringing it up in front of you. And you're going to see how high up you can go with your elbows, keeping those train tracks parallel. At a certain point, they're going to turn into a triangle instead of 2 parallel lines. You want to find the point where you can just barely hold it, and we're going to do some little lifts into this position. If you have a strap, holding onto a strap and trying to pull the strap in half is a good way of helping you find those muscles, but again, it is not necessary. Now, it is entirely possible that you're going to be doing this down here. That's totally fine. It's great. I love it down here. This is also great, as long as you're feeling the right muscles. External rotation outside of the shoulder. If it starts to feel like it's happening in here, lower it back down until you can feel those outside shoulder muscles again. That's what we want to do. Now, it took me a while to get my elbows up this high. I've been working on it for a minute, right? So we want to do these little pulses, reaching the elbows up, feeling those armpit muscles, those upward rotation of the scapula for 3, 2, hold. I'm going to try to bring my hands a little bit further out than my elbows. Spicy, spicy, spicy exercise. And shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. I love exercises that are incredibly difficult but look easy, so you can be straining and everyone's wondering, what's that person doing? But we are now really well prepared for shoulder stretching, so go ahead and grab your table and let's get to it. We've warmed up all these gorgeous muscles in our backs, and now we're going to figure out how to use them to find active flexibility in our shoulder stretching. This is such a great way of increasing your end range of motion. So, table. I'm finding my external rotation. I'm going to get into my shoulder stretch by rotating my scapula up, bringing my arms up over my head, feeling that reachy feeling. Palms turn to face down, and then I flat back forward, still using those back muscles that we built in our last exercise until my hands reach the table. Now, I could relax here, but I'm not. I'm going to find a place where I'm like, ooh, I feel a stretch here, but I don't feel like I'm at my end range of motion. Then this right hand becomes my anchor. I'm gently pressing that right arm down, squeezing my right armpit muscles as I lift my left hand up. And we're using that reachy feeling. So I'm trying to reach out super long. So there's a feeling like I'm trying to extend the feelings of the fingers of my left hand past my right hand. And that's going to get my shoulder blade even further up, even longer, in order to facilitate this lift. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and hold here. And see if you can now sink a little bit deeper into that left shoulder flexibility. Small twist to the right. And feel how that muscle works to better support your shoulder going deeper into your flexibility. Let's now do the same thing on the right hand. So I'm anchoring with my left hand. I'm pressing it down. I'm going to extend the fingers of my right hand out past my left hand. Little lifts up. Now, of course, I'm going to be feeling this in my shoulder, but I also want to feel it in my upper back, in those muscles underneath my scapula, and how they work to lever my entire arm up from my upper back. And that's how you really start to get this deep shoulder flexibility with strength and control. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. And then drop it down, and now I'm going to twist to the right, get that lovely stretch through the right shoulder. Feel how much it opened. Back to center now. Imagine I'm going to pick both arms up at the same time. I'm not going to do it, but just imagine that you are. See if you can feel those muscles. And instead of lifting up, use those muscles to drop your chest down towards the floor and come deeper into your shoulder flexibility. That extension that we create by shortening those muscles helps to keep our shoulders strong and flexible at the same time. Now we're going to go back and forth a few times. So I'm going to squeeze my lats and push myself back up. And then I'm going to use my shoulder muscles to control my descent. So we've really found the muscles that move our shoulders into extension. And this is so important for you hand balancers if you want to be able to do a bridge or wheel pose, different kinds of back bends, or just reach up over your head and have it feel fantastic. All right, let's do one more lift and lower. Sink it down. Engage those back muscles, and now we're going to end by tucking the pelvis under, pulling the rib cage in, reaching those fingertips out just a little bit further, moving that stretch even deeper into the shoulders. Deep breath, head and neck are nice and relaxed. And to come out, tuck the pelvis under, pull the ribs, and roll up. Take a little step in, and shake out those noodly arms. All right, last step. We're going to go to the wall and do our moose. All right, we're now going to take all of that work that we put into our upper back into the pinnacle experience that is moose. So find your wall, come on up, stand with your belly and your nose and your toes all the way up against the wall. And we're going to do that same snow angel. It's going to feel a little easier because now we're standing up again. Gravity isn't being so mean to us. And we're going to use it to get into our moose position. Both hands on the wall. Start by reaching those fingers as high up the wall as you possibly can. And then we're going to take our little step back and sink very slightly down the wall. Again, trying to have that stickiness in the hands that feels like the fingers and the armpits are getting farther apart. Now, don't go too deep because we're going to get into our active flexibility. So I'm anchoring with my left hand, reaching with my right hand, and trying to find little pulses, bringing that right hand up off the wall. I'm trying to touch my fingertips to the ceiling as I do it and trying not to arch my lower back, which, my lower back wants to help with everything. All right, little pulses up, feeling that shake as you go into your end range of motion and your body learns something new today. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. I'm lifting my left hand up a little higher, bringing that shoulder blade up and finding that pulse. Remember, it's not just coming from the shoulder itself, it's coming from the shoulder blade, those muscles underneath the shoulder blade. That's how you're going to get the depth of the extension and the strength. For 3, 2, 1, and now we're going to use those muscles to slide down the wall. So maybe another step back. I'm trying to keep my chest on the wall as I go deeper into my moose. And then deep tuck in the pelvis, pull the ribs in. And that's going to put more of the stretch into the upper back. And sure is hard to talk in this position, but it feels fantastic. Reach those fingers up and those armpits down. Press the armpits into the wall. One more breath here. And then slide the hands up the wall. Tuck the pelvis in. And you did it! Yay! Keep up the good work. Regular practice makes everything easier. Please check out our other videos to nerd out about shoulders and splits and back bends and all sorts of fun, good stuff. All right, thank you, everybody. And as always, happy bendings.